Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an E25. It's a Tier 7 German premium tank destroyer. It's located on the north spawn of Mines Encounter, and it's under the command of Chickens 1003 of the BBCLB clan. Let's see how he gets on. Game on. Well, this otherwise is known as the cockroach. Yes, and don't fire blindly like that because you don't get that much in the way of ammunition. You only get 60 rounds in total, and if you use them up unwisely, then you could run out of ammo when you need them the most. Oh, he managed to get a round in on the MX-12 ton, but, well, he took a couple of rounds, one round from the E25 on the enemy team, and now he's tearing apart that BK, gets the kill, goes for the Hellcat. One in, two in. Oh, now this is getting wild. Got the star one coming in, and well, he's decided to face huggers, which is not a good idea for either person. But because this thing fires once every 2 seconds or thereabouts, it can be deadly for the opposition. Well, he's managed to come out of that with 1,500 hit points of damage. But the problem is he's lost most of his hit points in the process. And that was the death of the AMX M445. Now, he's trying to side scrape on a Black Prince, which is a little bit difficult, but he will do it. Okay, that one went into the tracks. That one penned. Now, it's a 75mm main gun, which is capable of doing 135 alpha, 150mm pen with standard ammo, and with the premium rounds it can actually do, as we'll show here, 194mm, so decent pen. It's okay pen with the standard, you can actually get rounds in with 150. Now the enemy started capping already, which is kind of silly actually, because now they're going to get torn apart down here whilst that guy's just sitting in cap racking up cap points. Oh, he's not getting the pens. Okay, I think he's going to switch to premium rounds, APCR, but he's got teammates turning up as well. Oh, that one didn't last very long. That was the enemy FB304, and now we're tearing apart the Basotto. It's the fire rate that really gets most people. The E25 fires incredibly quickly, 238 per shot, and the book reload is 288. Just to get the figures in front of me. Now there's only one enemy left, it's that SMB CC56. After all that action right at the start, the enemy is basically fallen apart, and that's it, game over, and it's a victory. Well, the first part of this video is just a ruffle stomp on the enemy because, well, all the action took part in gaining the hill and keeping it from the enemy. There was so many enemy tanks decided to go into the hill, and a lot of the enemy got wiped out right at the start. So, second class tanker for Chickens 1003 in the E25. He managed to get a fire for effect for doing more damage than hit points to his own vehicle. Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 6. And he got a Confederate as well because he hit more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. And his win rate from that one was 3,161, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at the team score and see where he was. In actual fact, he was second highest damage in the game. The G-Saw did 3,060 hit points of damage. He picked up the high caliber. In second place, Chickens managed to get 2,175. And in third place, it was the Batchat 12 ton on their team, 1,722. We can see the E8 only got 1,370, but he picked up a Confederate as well. The T52 got a Scout, and the who else? Oh, well, that's it then, because of course, at least two of them got Confederates out of that game. All the medals were on the winning team. But you can see a lot of damage done very quickly. He said 15-0 in 3 minutes. Craziest game ever in what? And in fact, this might actually count on our 15-0 board, but we'll see in a short while. When it came to kills, it was the G-Saw again. 5 kills to him. 2 kills to the SMV CC56. 2 kills to the T52. And you can see Chickens only got the 1 kill out of that game. And when it came to base XP, he's in second place again. The G-Saw, who managed to get the top in all 3 columns, got 1,180. He's the only player to get over 1,000, with 979 going to Chickens and 769 going to the Batchat 12 ton. So it was 2 minutes 58 seconds. I think that does count as one of the fastest we've ever had in the 15-0 game. I'll check that against the other ones when we look it up. But he fired 28 shots, so he didn't even get through half his ammo. 19 direct hits on the enemy, 15 penetrations. I think he had a few shells that didn't penetrate towards the end of the game when he was trying to get the SMVCC, and they just wouldn't go through the front of the vehicle. It may have been one of the other tanks, though. 2,175 hit points of damage, of which 381 were at more than 300 meters. 4 hits received. 3 of those penetrated, 1 non-penetration, which is lucky because, of course, the E25 doesn't have much in the way of armor. In fact, it's very thin indeed. The thickest armor is at the front of the vehicle, and that's only 50 millimeters, 30 millimeters at the side and rear. So you can penetrate an E25 if you can see it. Most times you can't see an E25 because they're hiding in the bushes somewhere a long way away, and they've got great camo capabilities. So it's very difficult to see them, let alone hit them. He received 4 hits, 3 penetrated, 1 non-penetration. I did mention that. 7 enemy vehicles were damaged, 1 was killed, 222 hit points of damage assist. On a premium count, he actually made 64,997 credits from that game. And he also picked up 30 bonds for mission achievement, and on top of that 6,903 experience points as well. So a decent game, but I don't think you'd expect me to put up one video featuring just a 2 minute 58 seconds game. We actually do have another replay, so let's have a look at that one and see how Chickens gets on. The second replay is on the defending team on Redshire Assault. Game 1. Well, this is an interesting battle because it's very difficult to stop the enemy from winning in the assault battle on Redshire. If the enemy gets too close to the cap area and to the castle, then you can be defeated fairly easily. But we can see the Chickens decided to also act as scout and move up to the position north of the camp, so to speak, and he's getting early spots on the enemy, but he's got to watch out. He might get spotted by that AMX 12 ton. He managed to track him, and he got track damage, and the AMX 12 ton is down, but there are enemy tanks still inbound. Okay, spotted some to the north. Now, was he spotted? No, he was spotted. Sixth Sense has gone off, so yes, he needs to pull back. There are lots of really good bushes around this area which you can actually defend from, but most of the defense tends to be of the sit and scout for your team, just like a light tank. The E25 wasn't really supposed to be a scout, actually. They actually had what they called the E10 design, which was supposed to be the light tank replacement for all German light tanks, and the E25 was supposed to be the replacement for the Hetzer, as well as a light tank variant. But it was supposed to be the E10 would be a 10-ton tank, the E25 would actually be the 25-ton tank, more like a medium tank in many ways. Of the other designs, actually, of course, the E50 was supposed to be the replacement for the Panther, but it was actually more like a Tiger II replacement. And of course there was the E75, which was also supposed to be a kind of heavy tank replacement, supposed to take over from the Tiger itself. And he's getting nice shots, but you can see he's leading the targets just a little to get the engine bay, and it's working very nicely. Okay. Using a lot of standard ammo. This is a tier 6 game with tier 5 tanks in it. Oh, actually a tier 7 game, not a tier 6 game. The serial velocity with the standard AP is 925 meters per second, which isn't particularly fast, but it's fast enough for the purposes of an E25. Of course, E25s have such good camo because they're so low that they can shoot even at a distance and still not be seen by the enemy. But he has been seen this time. He needs to watch out, pull back, just in case the enemy tries to shoot him. Okay, that should be long enough. And he's now unspotted. Oh, look at that. That may have been the guy who was spotting him. The Hellcat. Didn't get that one into the tracks. Did get spotted. Now again, he might get fired on. Yeah. And in fact, he gets hit with an a Shure MV7X with a massive great shell. In fact, that was I think that's the 128mm round. Pretty sure that's a 128. So yes, that was very, very nasty, but he stayed up too long and paid for it. Okay, spotted the GW Panther. Try and aim for the gun shield. That's the weak spot. Fire for the body. The body of the tank is a Panther, and he's killed it, so he doesn't need to worry anymore. There's still one more Arty on the enemy team, though. It's an AMX 13AM. As far as we can see, it's over in the south. Now, he's decided to abandon the cap area, and he's actually going to go out hunting. And in fact, that means that it's more than likely he's going to find some of these enemy and tear them apart. This is where he'll be using the camo of this vehicle to its best effect. Okay, we're going to Panzer Ausstellung H. You couldn't see him. It's backed away. Got a Tiger 1. In fact, that's a stock Tiger. Stock Tiger turret. Okay, he's just highlighting these guys for the Arty at the moment. Our Arty are an M12 and the M41 HMC. The M12 is in the castle grounds, but the M41 has decided to go up into the northwest corner of the map. Okay, I'm not sure if he wants to shoot that Tiger. Yes, he does. And he's going to try and tear it apart. That was an average roll. That's a below average. He can now... I think the enemy can see us. He hasn't fired, though. Oh, he's lobbing shells in this direction. But he's being torn to shreds. And he's out the game. So that's his first kill in the game. But he's now got, well, 2,200 hit points of damage. There's still 8 enemy out there. Okay, just having a look behind him. There is a Panther M10 on the enemy team who supposedly was fairly close to the castle. We can't see him, so I presume he's actually hiding in the bushes. Okay, there's the Panzer IV. Pulls back to use the bush mechanic. Can't get the gun to depress. The problem is that he's only got 6 degrees. 6 degrees? 8 degrees of gun depression, so it's not enough on this ridgeline to make it work. And he did pull back there, but he didn't get spotted by the Jackson. The Jackson's actually gone. So now he's going to lock on to that Panzer IV and try and tear him apart. Okay. AMX 13 came up instead, but he did get spotted. Okay, that guy's gone. There's an M10 RBFM to the north. That's to the left of us at the moment. He's on the ridgeline. Or actually, no, he's not on the ridgeline. He's in the dip down there. But I just don't think he can spot us. Well, that's nicely in. He's using the third person very well to actually spot where the enemy is. And he's found the Shure MV7X. Now he just tears this guy apart because although he can probably see us, his fire rate is very poor compared to ours. And we can outmaneuver him because our top speed is 65 kilometers an hour and his isn't. It's very slow indeed. Now would be the time to go around him and try and find the rear of his vehicle and the Panzer. Okay, trying to get a proxy spot at the moment. He's pulled back. There's the enemy Arty in the distance over in the woods. Okay, we've got a teammate coming around the corner. There's the Sture Mill. Okay, we lock on. And one shot takes him out. There's the Panzer. He's dropped down into the river. We're going to go... Oh, we're not going to go for the ram. But he's now going to paste him with shells. And he doesn't get the kill. He gets the Sture Mill. But, oh, the AMX-13, he's gone. Okay, so who's left? They've got a T-78, an M10 RBFM. And they're both in this direction. They're both spotted. They've got one tank in the south. It's a Valiant. But I think our teammates are going after him in a big way. The SU-100 hopefully has got the 122mm gun. He'll easily take care of the Valiant. The enemy's lost their T-78. It just leaves the M10. And we're going right for him. Whoa, we got hammer-hacked. And there's one kill. And there's only one left. It's the Valiant down in the south. They didn't take care of him as quickly as I thought, but that's it. It's game over, and he's won. Here's the end of battle results, and that was a much better game than the last one, which was over so quickly, and he only got a second-class tanker. And this one, he got an ace tanker out of the game. It's not his first. He's had them before, but he also got a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, a 5-4 effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 12, the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and on top of that, he got a Confederate as well for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. And his win rate from that one, 8,001, which is super unicum and a lot more. Let's have a look at team score. Well, the highest damage was 3,542, and nobody else managed to get over 2,000 hit points of damage, let alone 3,000. The second highest damage in the game turned out to be the SFV on his own team, who managed to get 1,674. And the third highest, well, that actually went to the Sture Mill on the enemy team, who got a massive chunk of our hit points as well, 1,495 to him. When it came to kills, yep, he got the highest number of kills, 3. 2 kills went to the SFB, the SU-100, the M12, and the Chappie 594. And on the enemy team, only one player managed to get more than 1 kill, and that was the Panther M10. And only 5 players actually managed to get kills at all in that game on the enemy team. So when it came to base XP, he's top on that one as well. So he's top on all 3 columns. 1,446 went to Chickens 1003, 1,008 went to the SFB, and 819 went to the M12. So he must have been busy. Even though he didn't get a huge amount of damage, he did get 2 kills out of it. He fired 41 rounds, so used up 2/3 of his ammo, 32 direct hits on the enemy, 26 penetrations, 2 splash. Damage of 3,542 hit points, of which 2,095 were at more than 300 meters. He received 3 hits from the enemy, but only 2 of those actually penetrated. And of course, one of those was the big shot from the Sture Mill, which did lose him a lot of hit points in one fell swoop. 1 non-penetration, I think that must have hit the tracks. 110 hit points of damage blocked by armor. That's probably a 75mm round. In fact, I suspect that was the round from the M10. And 3 enemy vehicles spotted, 11 enemy vehicles damaged, 3 killed, 1,149 hit points of spotting assist. He earned a profit of 98,520 credits from that game, and he also picked up 4,772 experience points, so a much better game where he could actually command it. I think the other game, it was the GeForce 1010 that was dominating the game. This was around Christmas last year, I think. It was actually January for this game. And of course, the previous one was also January, so a few days apart in January. But I think the problem was the GeForce was new and people were handling it quite well. And, well, they got an advantage with that GeForce 1010. And it actually enabled, in this battle, him to actually dominate the game, whereas he was only a tier 7 E25, so he wasn't the top dog in the game, so he wasn't able to get this huge amount of damage as the GeForce could. And of course, in the next game, he was top dog because, of course, in the next game, he was top tier 7, and that means that he could dominate instead. So well done to Chickens 1003, an interesting game. The second one was much better than the first, although the first was all over before we could even realise that it had happened. Hope you enjoyed the both. If you did, please give the video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.